All right, so before we get deep into the AI agents, we need to understand the different nodes, the AI nodes that exist in the n8n ecosystem. So in n8n, there are simple chain nodes, and these chain nodes just bring together different components of AI to create a cohesive system. So you can think of it that way. They set up a sequence of calls between these different components, and these components can have the ability to include a large language model in there. There's a huge difference between, and this is very, very important. So there's a huge difference between a chain node in n8n and a LangChain or instance of a LangChain, which is going to be our AI agents, which will have the ability to add memory to it. Meaning that when users interact with instance of LangChain or this AI agent node, then adding memory will give the function to these nodes to be able to interact with the customer by remembering their previous conversation. So that's the biggest difference here. And if you take a look at the nodes here, if I click on the plus button here, go to advanced AI. So these are the chain nodes that you can add memory to. Therefore, they're not instance of LangChain. So that's a big difference. So for example, there's basic LLM chain, information extractor, question and answer chain, sentiment analysis, summarization chain, and text classifiers. So if we take a look at these, for example, let's say take a look at this information extractor. So this is something that you can see right here. You can add a model to it. So I can add a large language model here, but I cannot add memory here. So you can see there is no space here for me to add memory to this. So let's quickly take a look at some of these chain nodes that are existing in n8n. So this, for example, this first one, this information extractor, as you can see, all it does is it extracts information from previous node. And if you click on this option right here, add option, you can see that it has a predefined system prompt, right? And this is a system template, obviously, but you can see it just says you're an expert extraction algorithm. Only extract relevant information from the text. If you do not know the value to an attribute asked to extract, you may omit that attribute's value. So you can see it has a system prompt template already in there, but it has only one job to do, and it's not very versatile because you won't be able to add tools to these to do other functions. So that's where we'll explore the AI agent nodes and the different types of nodes later on. But anyway, so this kind of gives you that understanding of how and when to use these chain nodes. So if you have a basic functionality that you're looking for, then it's always easier to use these chain nodes versus the AI agent node, because the AI agent node will give you other more robust functionalities, and it will also have this decision-making ability to use different tools at different times. So things like, for example, same thing with summarization chain, for example. See, this has kind of like a predefined structure, meaning that all this does is it takes the input from the previous node and it chunks it, meaning it splits the document into these characters. And again, this is just chunking. And if I click on this option here, you can see right here that this is the individual summary prompt that it already has, which is write a concise summary of the following text. And this text will be coming in from the previous node, whatever this is attached to. And then this is the final prompt to combine and even further summarize this. So it's again, so this will hopefully give you a good understanding of how these chain nodes work and when to use these. Again, if you're building complex workflows that require calling separate tools, then you need to use the AI agent versus these. But if you require something simple, then these basic chains are very useful to have in your workflow. And then another cool thing about n8n is that it has, for these specific ones, if we take a look at, let's see, click on this one. Yeah, if I click on this one, you can see right here, it says save time with an example of how this node works. So a lot of these nodes have these example now. So if you just click on it, this will take you to a template that uses this particular node. So that way you can take a look at that and see exactly how it's being used on different automation workflows. So again, check that out. So right here, as you can see, this summarization chain node is being used to summarize these articles that are coming in here. And that's why this is such a useful node here versus an AI agent where you don't need to have the ability for this to have memory. All it's doing is grabbing the data from this side and then just summarizing it and spitting it out on the other side. So that's why this is such a useful tool in this particular instance, because it's using this one function, which is summarization. So hopefully that gives you a good understanding. Again, the way to check these out is just click on use workflow, and you can download the JSON and import it on your own file, so that way you can take a look at it further. All right, so in the next section, the agent node, take a look at that, because I've provided a napkin where you can go ahead and see what the difference is in the agent node versus the chain node, and then also an example of what are the different instance of LangChain when it comes to that AI agent node specifically that we're going to talk about in detail, because there are several types of AI agents that you can use for different purposes. And then after that, the next one is, again, make sure you check out that agent versus chain nodes demo, which is going to be this demo right here, because this will again solidify the difference between these two nodes that are available. All right, so make sure you check that out.